kindly agreed to stop by in here for a few minutes to see us. We're here at C2C to welcome Brad Paisley back. So Brad played the second C2C and he's playing this one, the fifth C2C. C2C has changed lots over here. This venue, no one thought that any national act could play here. But actually there was a national act that played here before C2C started, and the very brave person who played this venue was you in 2012 when you brought Ronnie Wood out as well. Do you remember that?
That's right, yeah, Ronnie was good.
Which is great. So thank you, because you really kicked open the door here, and it's been very, very good, because this venue works so well. We've got all kinds of people who are going to ask questions. Where should we start? Hi.
Hi, Brad. Timbaland in Red Rose Country.
Great to see you.
Great to see you too. You got your first guitar at a young age, and by the age of 12, you've written your own Christmas song, which you've collaborated again now, in recent times. How did you feel then when you wrote that song, and how do you feel now, knowing that you've come such a long way? Did you have that foresight that you would come this far when you were that age?
No, I'm way beyond anything I envisioned as a kid. I think, though, that anyone who ever walks onto a stage, whether that's at a local picnic or opening for someone or anything, thinks and dreams of something like this. Like, thinks they probably have what it takes to make it in the music business, or you wouldn't be chancing it and walking up there. But my goal really was very simply to have a hit song or two and a tour bus. That's what I wanted. Very simply, enough hits to sort of drive around the country with the band, play songs, set up, people show up, they know the words. That was about it. Really, the bus was the big thing. I wanted the bus. That's a great way of going in America. We don't do that here as much with buses, but and so yes, I shot right past that, and I'm very lucky to be able to sort of create new goals and achieve them from time to time as well.
Gentlemen, what's the background?
Welcome back, Brad.
It's so great. I'm thrilled to be here. This is the gig I've been looking forward to ever since we announced it.
My question is this. Have you ever had the chance to play live on stage with either or both of Stuart Smith or Albert Lee? And could you answer in your London accent, please?
This is going to be incredibly offensive to you. I've gotten to play with Albert several times. Albert and I are good friends. He's here in London right now, but he cannot make it because the gig he's got is not out until I'm done tonight. But we invited him tonight to play. His son is coming, but that's no help to you in that sense. But yeah, Stuart Smith I know, but I haven't played with. But Albert and I have done a lot of stuff together. Albert actually and I won a Grammy for a song we collaborated on my instrumental record called Cluster Pluck. Careful how you say it.
Stuart's the guy who plays with the Eagles these days, isn't he?
Yes, Stuart is he is something else. Yeah.
Lady there.
Hiya Brad, I'm Margaret from UKCountryRadio.com. Now, little moments you didn't have to be in now today. What gems have you got coming up for us on the new album, Love and War?
Thanks for asking about the new album. Our goal was to have that record out this week, and I blew that. I started making that album, the album that you're going to get in April, in September of 2015. The very first recording session was with Mick Jagger. And Mick and I have become friends in opening for them in the States a few times. And so I had told him, I said, you got to come back when we don't have a gig, and we need to write, and we need to see what happens. We stay at the farm, and we'll just write and record in my house. No one will know you're there. And other than my whole family who show up at that point when they find out he's there. But we can maybe see what happens. And we ended up writing a bunch, and my idea was to collaborate with some of these people that I've been lucky enough to get to know that are way above my pay grade, and see what happens when these strange worlds collide. And the goal was to get it out in early 2016. And so you can see how badly I did at achieving that goal. But that's the only, truly the reason it's not out yet is because I wanted it exactly like I envisioned it. And it took all of how 18 months or whatever that is to get that right. And in the process, I had the idea to go also collaborate with a few others. John Fogerty and I are close friends. And I had this idea for a song that I wanted to write with him. And so he, just like what Nick did in the beginning, he, a few months later, came to the farm, spent 3 days. 3 days is I find about the period of time where you have the first day where you eat food and you talk and you get through the jitters. The second day you get something done, the third day you cut it. And so he did the 3-day thing with the idea that I had for him, which when you hear it, is one of the more important things I think I've tried to say in a song. And it's the album title, it's called Love and War. And when John sat down, he said, how do we do this? And I said, well, you know. He said, no, I don't co-write. And I said, ever? He said, no, I've really never co-written before. And he said, you know, back in the day, the band had some credit on things, but we never really sat down and I've never done this. And I said, oh, this is easy. This is so much easier than sitting by yourself. We're going to tell a bunch of jokes and go eat and come up with a song. And the next thing you know, we did that. And the next person to come in for 3 days was Timbaland, which I know I have no direction, do I? And that ended up being fascinating and wonderful. There's 2 songs on there that we collaborated on. Bill Anderson came out to the farm and we wrote one that I think is one of my proudest things. And then the strangest collaboration on the new record is I co-wrote a song with Johnny Cash. And the way that I did that is his son, John Carter, has had this idea for a while for people to finish his father's songs. And he came to me and said, I've got a couple of things, and one of them I think is a gem that you might be able to just do exactly what needed to be done. And all it was sort of you'll see, eventually we'll go into detail of how that happened. And then there are other songs in there that are just me. But again, I tried to say things that I haven't said before. And I think that's the beauty of country music and why it actually works in England is if you look at real life and you say something that you believe and you try to be as much of a storyteller as you could be. It doesn't matter what country you're in. I think that it's relatable now. You know, we're all looking at some of the same things on the television or our internet or whatever it may be.
Grey Goose Chase sounds like an old English folk song.
It's kind of like that. That's actually something I did with Timbaland, and that's the blistering guitar song on there.
Can you tell us a little something about Timbaland, because not everyone in the room knows?
Timbaland is, I don't know how to describe him. He is a R&B, pop, rap producer. Missy Elliott, Justin Timberlake, produces those people. He's never done country before. And when we got together and started talking, he said, where our worlds collide the best is bluegrass. Those beats, that thing, those syncopated things that are happening, where the mandolin's doing something, the banjo's doing something, if you break those down, they're very similar, and that's where we went. And it's the country stuff on the record, ironically. It doesn't sound anything like hip-hop.
So a song called Dying to See Her, which is what you've done with Bill Anderson, that sounds like a country song.
It's a country song. I'm as proud of that as anything I've ever written. Bill and I called Bill and said, I've been saving an idea for you, and this is important. And he is 80 years old, and the greatest living country songwriter, without a doubt.
So Love and War, it's an arresting cover with your hat flying off your head. It's out on April the 21st.
We did that in an anti-gravity chamber.
In
really No. I did jump, though. That's me jumping.
Thank you for telling us about the record, because we needed to know that, and we got it all here for the radio guys. Is there another question? This lady here.
Oh, hello, my name is Ida and I'm from Claremont Community Radio. This is my first country to country, and the thing that strikes me about it is the opportunities it gives for new artists to pop up stages, and the excellent established artists who, like yourself, have had so much success, so much experience, the albums you've released, the successes, the collaborations, the songwriting. I just wondered what advice you would give to those artists who are up and coming, what you've learned over the years.
Advice? I think that it's all about the song in the end. Where your career goes is what you cut, like what songs are you doing. And I'm somebody that's always thought that anybody who had the songs that I had, the catalog that I had, would be as bigger a star than me. I just happened to either write some or find some, and I think that you can never let yourself think it's about you. Rarely is it. Elvis might have been a star singing anything, but the rest of us need songs. And it's sort of really important that you figure out who you are song-wise, and then you'll go as far as you can, I think.
2 more questions. This one goes to you.
Hi.
Hi.
And I have kind of a silly question. First of all, do you follow any UK artists? Doesn't have to be country.
Oh, yeah.
And so which ones and why? Another question, what is like the most embarrassing record that you own?
Most embarrassing record.
Yeah, like some Backstreet Boys or something.
No, I got better than that. There's a thing called, this is going to sound incredibly vulgar, but hey, it's on iTunes, so it can't be that bad. It's called The Singing Butts, and it's songs done sounding like flatboards. Like from everything from Happy Birthday to Old Lang Syne, Jingle Bells, Silent Night, possibly. It's worth checking out. Yeah, and then what was the other question?
UK artists.
UK artists. I'm a big fan of UK music, a really big fan. I like everything from Coldplay down to some more obscure bands like Sand and Snow, or Silent Film. That album, Sand and Snow, is something I've always liked. I love Ed Sheeran. I love what he does. I like he's British, right? Yeah. Not Irish. Looks Irish, doesn't he? Of course, you may hate that. This thing is, I feel like, especially things like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Eric Clapton, the classic stuff, Pink Floyd, guitar player-wise, you are so absolutely beyond what percentage you should have of influential artists, because population-wise, I mean, I look, even country-wise, you've got Albert Lee, Ray Black, guys like that are trailblazers. Jerry Donahue. I mean, it's not fair, honestly, that some of the greatest country players of all time come from this country. I mean, what did you guys do to deserve it? Besides kick us out. It's not fair.
Yeah. Last question there, Dave.
Hi, Tanya from Royal Country Radio. Just can you tell us a little bit about the experience of making Forever Country? What that was like, how it came about, how it was organised, being so many artists collaborating together?
Forever Country was the brainchild of a couple of songwriters, one of them being Shane McAnally, I know, who's brilliant. And the CMA had this idea, 50 years, to put a lot of us together and mash up a couple of these songs. And, in theory, that shouldn't work. It should be sort of like, it should be like salad and Jell-O. And, you know what I'm saying? And meat, just like not edible. And it was basically the greatest casserole you could ever expect. And that's testimonial to really honestly how brilliant those writers were at getting the right mashup. So we went in the studio. I think we were the first possibly to cut our parts, which was Carrie and I, and then started down the path of getting everybody. And everybody sort of did it on their own time, and then they did a bunch of green screen stuff with the rest of us, so it looks like we're in the same room, but thankfully we didn't have to see one another at all. It was all the magic of TV, which I'm hoping we can do the award show that way.
Yes. And thank you for the award show, which is now seen on British TV. Thanks for coming. We'll see you all later.
Hope you like the show tonight. Hope I figure out what I'm doing.
Brad Paisley, everybody.